video, I'll be covering the else if statement and the else statement, and exactly what it does and how to incorporate it with your if statement to work fluently and properly. Stick around to find out exactly how to do this. Hello, this is Toxic Studios, and I make learning game design easy. If you're new here, consider subscribing, and even if you're not, consider going down and dropping a like on this video. That would be much appreciated. Now on with the video. Alright, so this is going to be a continuation of last video's if statements, and this is going to be else if and else statements. So with the same program we have from last video, which I'll leave a link down in the description if you want to go watch that one first, we learned how to use an if statement. Now say we want multiple conditions with this if statement. Well, we can simply just go else if and then say answer is greater than or equal to 250. And then we can say cout that number is bigger than 250. Now what an else if statement does is it's basically like another if, but what it's saying is if this condition is false, then it'll go down here and say, okay, let's see if this condition is true or false. And then if this one's false, then we can add another else if. So now it will go into, if this is false, it will go into here and determine if this is true or false. And if this is false, then it will go one step below and determine if this is true or false. So now let's say all of them are false, because if all of them are false, all it will do is put out an answer. So let's say else, and now what else does is it's basically like these, but it doesn't require an if. So what it's doing is if all of these are false, that's the only way this else will get triggered, if all of these are false. So we could put something like cout answer, like we have down here. That's where like something like that would go. And now we can just erase this answer. So now the only way it will spit out answer is if answer is less than 100, because all of these are greater. And actually, let me change this to 500 real quick. And now if we run this, what is a number? Let's say 10. See, all it did was print out the answer, because 10 came through here and it said, is 10 greater than or equal to 100? No. 250? No. 500? No. So then it went to the else, and it says, okay, let's just output the answer. So now if I rerun this, and let's try a different number. Let's try a number in our actual else if. Let's say 550. So you notice we try 550, but it's still saying that number is bigger or the same as 100, you see? And the reason for that is because we gotta add a little more constraints. Alright, so the problem that we're having is that it's just spitting out this line right here, because it's coming in here and saying, oh, the answer is greater than or equal to 100. So to fix this, we have to do and, which is that, and there is also an or, which is the two straight lines above the enter key, but we won't be using the or right now. So we'll say answer is greater than or equal to 100, and answer is less than or equal to, or is less than 250. So that puts it exactly to, as long as it's between 100 and 250, it will do this. So now we just gotta do this same exact thing, but on the other ones. And I'll be back to you when it's done. Alright, so we have our constraints on this other one. And the last one, you do not need one. You can if you want to, but no, we don't have another else if. So it shouldn't matter. So now if we run this, what is a number? And we say 130. No. Let's say 250. That number is bigger than 250. Now, obviously, we could put or the same as, but it doesn't really matter since this is just a tutorial. But if you wanted to, you could say that number is bigger than or the same as 250. And there are plenty of ways you can determine if the number is 250. And you could say that number is equal to 250, but that's a little more advanced. And I will be covering stuff like that in the future. But as of right now, that was else ifs and else statements. And the next video will cover switch statements, which are basically this, all of this right here, but more optimized. Alright, so this is Toxic Studios. I make learning game design easy. If you're new here, consider subscribing and give this video a like. And comment your thoughts or questions that you may have. And I will see you next time.